And welcome to the nightcap of our Class 2A doubleheader here at Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. It's America's original March Madness. Hi, I'm Lee Hall, and welcome wherever you're watching tonight on the IHSA TV network. We refer to Peoria and Carver Arena as the capital of Illinois basketball, at least for the next 2 weekends. The 2A state championship will be decided here tomorrow. We know that Seton Academy is already in that championship game. Who will they face? Will it be Massac County or Marshall? These two teams combined for 63-1 record coming in. Here for the call, Jim Albrecht and Roger Lowe. Gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, Lee Hall. I'm Jim, he's Roger, and welcome to the hardcourt version of American Idol. There's a Lucas and there's a Logan Idol on one side of this equation, playing for Marshall, of course, but Massac County has some horses as well. Let's check the road to Peoria for both these teams, starting with Marshall. They won in the regional over T-Town, always tough by 6. And then, of course, that thrilling overtime win over Stanford Olympia. They had to tie it in the final seconds. Taylor Duncan got it done with a 3. You'll see a lot of him here tonight. As far as Massac County is concerned, they had the regional championship win over Murfreesboro, but they trailed early in that one by 11. Then a tough win against Breeze Central in the super sectional to get here. Well, Roger, I've mentioned the Twins. You and I are going to be seeing double all night. The idols are identical, and here's one of them.
Yeah, Lucas I could have flipped a coin as to who I wanted to be my player, but I chose Lucas. He has the most assists and the best three-point percentage of anybody in the tournament. Look at that free throw percentage, too, 86%, a 4-year starter, 18 points a game.
And we saw a great point guard last game from Seton Academy and Mr. Cooper. But on the other side, for Massac County, I like Mr. Bailey.
I do an all guy, second team All-State. Unless DJ Cooper's better, he's the second best point guard in the state. An 18-8 guy, All-Stater in football as well. He's the leading rebounder and the leading scorer for this Massac County team.
And of course, if you're Massac County, as I mentioned before, you're going to be seeing doubles, so you might as well start your defensive keys right there.
Yeah, and you know, the keys here, the idle threats here from Marshall. The two boys, Logan and Lucas, have led them all year long. You're going to see several defenses by Marshall. It's going to be interesting to see how Massac County gets through to that. And strive for perfection. They're 59-0 with all 3 levels.
And we mentioned Bailey, and he's kind of like Cooper for Seton Academy. As he goes, they go. He can score, but he can also dish.
Everything runs through Double B, Byron Bailey. He's got to have the ball in his hands most of the time. This is a very good man-to-man team, so defense is going to be the key for them. And the Southern Pride, you can say anything you want about state basketball, but the South has so much pride in their high school basketball. They're carrying a big torch for this area, the Massac County Patriots.
And to the victor here tonight belong the Sting of Chicago. They'll worry about that tomorrow. Tonight, they want to get to the championship game. So it's Massac County taking on a Marshall. The horn sounds, meaning it's time for you to meet all of these players. Let's go to our PA announcer here in Peoria, Mr. Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. This semifinal game in 2A boys for 2009 features the undefeated Marshall Lions, 31-0, and the Metropolis Massac County Patriots, 32-1. Let's meet the teams. For the Lions, a 5'9" senior, 12, Ethan Delp. A 6-foot freshman, 13, Jacob Duncan. 5'10" junior, 20, Austin Wetnight. 6-foot sophomore, 21, Jordan Grooms. 6'2" junior, 24, Jake Tucker. 6-foot freshman, 30, Logan Kennedy. 6'4" junior, 33, Dalton Sanders. 5'11" sophomore, 40, Joey Francis. 6'1" junior, 44, Tyler Bishop. And now the Massac County Patriots. 6-foot sophomore, 14, Zach Henry. 5'10" senior, 21, Calvin Morse. 6'2" senior, 22, Dustin Cordy. 6-foot senior, 24, Archie Maxey. 6-foot sophomore, 33, Quincy Glass. 6'3" junior, 40, Tyler Summer. 6'3" senior, 42, Zach Bremer. 6-foot freshman, 44, Malcolm Amos. 6'2" junior, 50, Adam McManus. And a 6-foot junior, 52, Jalen Thigpen. Now let's meet the starting lineups for this semifinal contest. For Marshall at a guard, a 6'4" senior, 10, Logan Idle. At a guard from Massac County, a 6'4" senior, 5, Byron Bailey. Another guard for the Lions, a 6'2" senior, 22, Trey Brashear. Another guard for the Patriots, a 6'1" sophomore, 10, Corey Ayala. The third guard for Marshall is 6'4" senior, 23, Lucas Idle. The third guard from Massac County, a 6-foot junior, 11, Jarrell Johnson. The fourth guard for the Lions, a 6'3" junior, 32, Tyler Duncan. And a forward for the Patriots, a 6'4" senior, 12, Zach Kester. The fifth guard for Marshall, a 6'5" junior, 34, Dustin Morey. And the other forward from Massac County, a 6'3" junior, 45, James Lang. Head coach for Marshall in 17 years at the school, a record of 339 and 137. Tom Brannon. Assistant coaches, Chris Kessler and Pat Duncan. Head coach for Massac County, 30 years in coaching, 23 in Metropolis, Massac County, a record of 458 and 207, Joe Hossman. Assistant coaches, Isaiah Hart, Kerry Bowman, Parker Windhorst, and John Pruitt. As the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA Board of Directors and member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship from all athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Do what's right. Thank you. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. It's America's original March Madness. Direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. The referee from Winona, Tom Fulkerson. From Peru, Jeff Sonnenberg. And from Chesney Park, Dave Kudzma. Presenting the game ball for this contest will be Brandon Burwell, Client Support Manager for Multiad, one of the sponsors of the March Madness experience next door in the exhibit hall. All of us thank Multiad for their contribution to the greatest high school single event in the land.
All those handshakes brought to you by Walgreens. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right, Good Sportsmanship campaign. Jim Albrecht, Roger Lowe, and Lee Hall set to bring you the second game of our Class AA semifinals. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Meijer. Check us out at Shop for More at MEIJER.com. The Idols, Brashear, Duncan, and Morey, and we'll set Marshall for you as we get underway. And Massac County and the Patriots will be doing the honors first. Byron Bailey, the smooth lefty, wearing number 5, pulling up for a jumper that's a little short. And the first rebound of the night belongs to Logan Idle.
It's going to be interesting to see about Lucas Idle. He hurt his thumb in the super sectional win against Olympia. Didn't score. He's going to be a huge factor. That was Logan, I'm sorry, that hurt himself. He was number 10. He was the one that hurt his thumb.
Cross underneath. It's not there. The shot by Brashear won't fall, but Idle gets the rebound. This is a big factor in this game. Taylor Duncan, number 32. You're going to hear a lot about him tonight. Whoa, Bailey gets into some traffic and loses the handle as Dustin Morey comes up with it.
On that made field goal, they're in a 1-3-1. They start out in a man, so they will switch defenses. I'll try to keep the fans posted on how they do that.
The Idle brothers average 33 apiece. That one's short by Lucas Idle.
The shooting background is different here. A lot of times you see shots come up short early.
Bailey tries to find a teammate along the baseline, but Corey Ayala was covered up, but touched last by the Marshall Lions. There you see Tom Brannon.
Once again, Logan Idle hurt himself early in the ball game in the super sectional. Did not score.
Coming up in a hurry is Ayala off the glass. Not there. Rebound is fought for and gathered in. And we've got our first bucket of the night on that side of the fence.
Leading assist man starts off with a good jumper. Hard-nosed player, Jarrell Johnson. This is that hard man-to-man we talked about, Jim. The pride of the South, Massac County.
And when we get a little further along, the baseline jumper not there by Idle. But it is saved by the Lions. Undefeated. First state appearance for the young men in the red and white, the darker red, of course. Jumper baseline, too much iron that time for Brashear, but again, controlled on the offensive glass after the long Carone. Oh, there's a nice move. Duncan, short. Bailey comes down with it, and he's gonna race. He's got numbers. Bailey turns, gives it up, gets it back, puts it down.
Not a textbook 2-on-1, but effective nonetheless.
James Lang got him back the basketball.
Bailey may be the best athlete in this Final Four. All-state in football, all-state in basketball. Guarding the ball right now.
Idle as whistles will Idle play. Lucas Idle, Logan Idle, both going to the same college, Roger.
Academic scholarships to Indiana State, both going to try to walk on. There's Joe Hossman, the head coach at Massac County.
23 years in the business. He knows about handling kids because he's got 9 kids at home, his own, which we'll talk about in depth as this game grows a little older. The winner taking on Seton Academy.
Look at this man-to-man defense once again. A lot of pressure, good off-ball activity by Massac County, well schooled.
Long jumper. The Idles can't find anything right now, and the rebound comes down to Bailey. Bailey kicks it out quickly to Jarrell Johnson. Johnson surveys and says, let's set it up, gentlemen.
Once again, his shot's coming up short. The shooting background throws these guys off a little bit.
Bailey averages 18, and he'll go to the line. Bailey, another one of those unselfish players that coaches love, coaches like that. Joe Hossman. Go ahead, Roger.
That first step of his, too, is very, very quick. You can't assimilate that in practice. It gets his head and shoulders by you before you know what's happening.
I was about to say that Bailey is so unselfish. There was a game earlier in the season where he was within 2 points of the school record for single game points, and he said, nah, I think I'll just pass it off the last 3 minutes. Even though they set up plays for him, he refused to take the shot and instead gave it to his teammates. Massac County with the early lead, 7-2. We're back after this from your network sponsors. And there you can see where these two teams come from. Of course, so you can't get much further south than Metropolis, of course, where Massac County and those Patriots hail from. And when you take a look at the population and the enrollment, obviously Massac County has the edge there. And of course, that Southern Illinois River-to-River Conference is always down here, Roger. They have made 9 straight trips, that conference has, to the state, and that's because you've got Pinckneyville and schools like that down there, and Heron, and of course Massac County. Right now Marshall trying to find their offense. Taylor Duncan kicks it right back out to Idle. They have not found the offense on that trip, still sitting on 2 points and trailing by 5.
Everything's short so far. I'm expecting to be a man-to-man now after that miss. Right now Byron Bailey with the ball. Tremendous athlete. Marshall in his zone, though. Looks like a 1-2-2 half-court trap.
And we didn't want to forget about Nashville in that tough SIRR conference either. They've made 3 recent trips as well. Turnover coming the other way. Duncan trying to finish, but he is fouled on the way to the glass by Jarrell Johnson.
Now this kid, Duncan, is the one that hit the three-point shot to send the game into overtime against Stanford Olympia. And in 2 games in the tournament trail, held Myers Leonard, who's going to Illinois in another year, to 9 points, and Matt Fromm, the All-Stater from Olympia, to 9 points. Coach calls him the best defender in the state.
And when you hold guys like that below double digits, you earn that title. Of course, Taylor Duncan's dad has a lot to do with this team's success. He is an assistant coach, but he's also, as a former Army drill sergeant, he also drills in their workouts in the offseason. So they are definitely in tip-top military shape in terms of how much gas they've got in their tank.
Okay, we're in a zone right now. The Marshall team looks like a 2-3. Again, running up at Bailey to try to get him to get rid of the ball.
Having trouble inside is Johnson. He'll come right back out at top to Bailey. Always a good idea. Second team All-Stater. Double B's, Byron Bailey. Unselfish. One of those guys who, like Cooper for Seton Academy, could get to the glass most any time he desires, or at least have good odds in that department. He goes inside, and we've got a foul, a little tacky shove there against Zach Ketster. There you see the streaking Massac County team.
So these teams have never lost to a 1A or 2A team. Obviously Carbondale a bigger team, a 3A or 4A in the high school here, so undefeated at this level.
And they still stuck pretty close in that loss. Nice bounce pass over to Kester. Down the net it goes.
3-year starter, all-state quarterback as well. Kester, a tremendous athlete.
That time he was on the other end of a pass. Idle needed that one, and Lucas got it. Just to kind of get his stroke going, that's very important as we've got a 3-point lead now. Bailey almost traveled, but somehow will get the benefit of the foul and go back to the free throw line. And Bailey, that's one of the things he needs to work on is his free throws at 65%. You'd like to see him get up there to 75, 80.
A little bit higher. And now you notice the guys on the lane blocks for Massac County. Ayala and Johnson, both tremendous athletes. Ayala more of a slasher than Johnson is, but 2 great athletes inside the paint. In fact, all 3 guys in that circle there for Massac County move well.
Now we have another Duncan in the game, and that is the younger brother of Taylor Duncan. That would be number 13, Jacob Duncan. So 4 of the players in the dark red are bros, folks. Duncan gets it rejected inside by Bailey. Down the other way they come. This is Dustin Corte. Count it. He is instant offense, Roger.
Corte is the runner-up in the state golf tournament this past year, played on the state champions 2 years ago, and Corte, you don't lose a thing with him coming in the ball game, has the highest free throw percentage of anyone in the state of Illinois in this tournament, 89%. Only missed 7 free throws all year.
And in that big super sectional win, he nailed 18 points. He was 4 of 6 from three-point land, and now he's got his team up by 6.
Well-played game so far, only 1 turnover. Team's getting shot at the baskets, taking care of the ball. This is one of the most underrated players you can see in the state right there, Taylor Duncan.
Tough shot, and somehow he got his own rebound.
Athletic, strong.
Nice bounce pass, nice kick out. Idle to idle. Will it result in anything? Duncan wants a 3, in and out. Quickly the other way. Oh, what a shot by Ayala.
He is a slasher.
Corey Ayala, the sophomore, has his team up 14-6. And Marshall needs to talk it over. Well, again, like we saw earlier, Roger, the team that ended up winning game 1 of this semifinals got off to a good start. That would be Seton Academy. Ditto that for Massac County right now.
You can see their high-powered offenses. One averages 74, one averages 73, but Marshall right now only shooting 14%. They're getting good shots.
Yeah.
Most of them have been short, though, to this date.
Well, you look at the Idle twins, 15 points from Lucas Idle, 18 from Logan Idle. So you're looking at a team that averages 74 points, so they're right around 40% of their offense. And there, of course, is a person who's obviously listening to my play-by-play.
Yeah,
I am out.
Not a care in the world there. Well, we're not getting our stats monitor's not up to date with our total points here. I'm looking at it up here on the board, but all the Marshall or Massac County players are in scoring column. Everyone touching the ball. A true team concept by Coach Hosman.
On the other hand, Duncan leads the way with 4 for Marshall, and there you see the all-time boys high school wins, well represented by the state of Illinois. The land of Lincoln is racking up W's on the hard court. And I don't know how that team from Tennessee got ahead. We'll try to get those updated scores individually. It's like Idle to Idle, Duncan to Duncan out here right now for Marshall.
They're doing a good job again, pushing them out of their offense.
Inside, blocked away by Ayala. Getting it right back is Idle. He scoops and doesn't score, and away comes Massac County in a hurry. Ayala down the other way, Bailey.
Athletic, they got the ball down the floor, ran a nice 2-on-1 break. Kept a little separation between the defender. He couldn't cover both players.
And I didn't expect this. I thought both these teams would be staying kind of close, but obviously when the shots aren't falling like that, you're going to be in some trouble. Logan Idle hustling after his own miss. And we'll have a foul call, it looks like, against Massac County. Yeah, they're going to give it on Byron Bailey, and that's kind of important. That's number 2 on Mr. Bailey. And that doesn't sit well with Joe Hosman. Good defense by Massac County, not allowing the easy jump shot. Taylor had to work for that one. Taylor Duncan will go to the free throw line.
Now, if you saw that last possession, too, you're going to see a replay of this. You can see Massac County gets off the ball real well. You're supposed to see ball and man when the ball gets away from you. Good help in there, but it looked like Corte was the man who got the foul. Now, Duncan's a 77% free throw shooter.
Gets it to fall. His 5th point of the game.
Sometimes when the offense is not clicking, Jim, like it is right now for Marshall, you got to have your defense step up, maybe get a defense creating an offensive play for you. You got to get the momentum back maybe at the other end of the floor.
And every coach's nightmare when you get down here is to have a bad first quarter because it just makes your work that much harder. But that is what Tom Brandon and the Marshall Lions have had in the first 7 minutes of this encounter, trailing 16-8.
Now, Corte is a tremendous shooter. Marshall's going to have to make sure they find him on the zone. In the corner, number 22, away from the ball.
He was in the 3-point contest here between games. Finished 2nd. Now he's in the deep corner.
You always got to know where the shooters are.
No shot clock in high school basketball, of course, and you have to wonder in that regard whether there ever will be a shot clock in high school. Roger, your thoughts?
Well, I don't see it happening just because it's going to be, hard for someone to run it at levels, around the state. But right now, I don't think that's anything that's really on the planning stage by anybody at the IHSA.
Up by 8, Massac County will inbound.
Marshall doing a nice job of switching defenses. Right now, they've played a little bit more zone than man. Probably thinking Massac County is a little bit more athletic, but still a very effective zone that they've been playing. I wouldn't think Massac County's in any hurry with 23 seconds. Probably want to get the last shot. Be guaranteed to go in up at least 8.
Yep, they're going to be nice and patient early here. From the Peoria Civic Center, Jim Albrecht and Roger Lowe. Lee Hall covering the sidelines on the IHSA TV network. Hope you're enjoying it.
There's your shooter.
There's the guy. He gets it blocked. And with 2 seconds, Duncan will heave and almost hit it. Good defense on the other end by Marshall, and we'll take a break as Massac County doubles up here in the first quarter. Back after these. Did.
Back at Carver Arena, Massac County, the 16-8 lead. We are with the woman behind the power at Marshall High School, right? Sarah Brandon, Tom Brandon's wife. Your son, Kobe, is the ball boy. He's a very special young man. Tell us about him.
He is about to turn 11 years old. He's a very special guy. He had a heart transplant when he was just a little guy. He was 7 weeks old. And we brought him home when he was 3.5 weeks old, and he has been a Spitfire ever since. He is the most awesome kid in the world, and everybody in town just absolutely loves him, and he loves all of them. He loves the Marshall Lions, and he's eating it up on the screen right now.
Obviously very special for Coach to have your son, your only son, right there with him enjoying the state experience here this weekend.
This has been a wonderful experience for both of them. I don't really know which one loves it more. Kobe on the charter bus on the way up here with the boys, he told me that was the best. And then he told me he got to play games with the boys last night. And every single one of them treat him like they're his little brother, and they take care of him. I sent him up here, and I was really nervous to send him alone because I know how scatterbrained Tom is and how worried about everything in the game, and the boys have all assured me that Kobe will be with him and they'll take care of him.
All right, now things are going your way on the court. Nice job. Thanks, Sarah. All right, God bless you. All right, guys, pretty special story there behind the success of this Marshall team this year. Back to you.
Yes, indeed, and we met that young man yesterday, and a freshman feeds the fuel, and countering at the other end is Zach Kester. It was Jacob Duncan with the 3, and then Kester said, okay, I'll get 2 of those back. Massac County up by 7. The Logans, or I should say the Idols, Lucas and Logan, they have got to stop being idle offensively. They just can't get anything to drop, Roger.
Yeah, only 2 points between the 2 of them, and Marshall will feed off both those guys.
Lucas Idle, no, and they are just finding it very, very frigid as far as the floor game is concerned.
Well, you look at the stats there, and brought to you by Menards, the second line is the telltale. Marshall's getting good shots. They're just not falling right now, shooting about 13%. And Massac County sharing the ball, 5 assists.
Save big money at Menards. Jarrell Johnson gets it on over to Ayala. Ayala drives. Nice drop pass.
Yeah.
Count it up as James Lang gets the 2.
Very unselfish team there. Once again, that's why Massac County is where they are. All 5 guys playing together.
Idle kicks it right back out to his brother. Too much iron. Man, they just cannot find it. And look at Ayala. He just keeps running, but that time Lucas Idle said, no, we're not going to give you another easy one, and they throw it away.
That's unforced. Freshman came in, made a bad pass, but he also had 3 to get him going. He's not afraid to shoot it. There you see a good look at Jacob Duncan. Led his team to the 8th grade state championship last year, and as I talked to Coach Brandon, he said this kid, plays like he's a junior. Not afraid to shoot it at all. Marshall staying in more of a zone than they've been playing a lot of the year. They played a lot of man, but once again, Massac County might be just a little bit too quick for him in the man.
That is 20-11 the lead as we update it.
Notice a Taylor Duncan around the ball there. Your best defender right there on top of the ball, 32.
Corte will drive and go to the free throw line.
You can almost count this as going in too. Like I said, only missing 7 free throws all year long. You're going to see Corte take the ball to the basket, get the baseline. That's one thing you cannot allow happen unless you have a shot blocker inside, is to let someone take baseline.
Dustin Morey picked up the personal foul.
Corte, as we said, 55 of 62 coming in this game from the line. And, a lot of times you think about a state golf champion, ice water in his veins. He has to be tough when it comes to things such as free throws, and sometimes they play a role hand in hand.
So you're telling me a 15-foot putt and a 15-foot free throw, pretty much the same thing for this guy.
I made more 15-foot free throws than I ever made 15-foot putts, believe me.
Of course, when you get a scholarship to go play golf at Austin Peay.
Those 2 words are bad memories for me, but it's probably a pretty great golf school. Austin Peay was my last game at Illinois.
As an assistant coach for Lou Henson, long jumper, no, but we've got a whistle and a turnover before the shot got off.
I don't see these Idle boys panicking a bit. They're too good to panic. It just hasn't come yet. They'll get off the schneid here pretty soon, and Marshall will get back in this ball game. The shooting percentage just has to be abysmal for Marshall. We don't have any stats in front of us now, but it has to be, can't be much more than 15%.
And usually when you think of the Idols, you think, well, if one's having a cold night, the other will make up for it. But that has not been the case, as they have mustered only 11 points here through almost 11 minutes.
And Logan didn't score, as we said, in the Super Sectional, so she's gone almost 5.5 quarters without scoring for the Lions.
Pressure out front, but Ayala handles it. Corte can't free for the 3, so he goes down to the teammate along the baseline, and who the heck is James Lang?
Well, he can shoot it from 15 feet. I talked to Coach Hossman, and he's very comfortable with him shooting that ball from that angle.
Well, he averages 6 per game and provides a lot of muscle in that time. He provided the offense and a turnover as we have a 13-point lead. And I tell you what, Marshall better get it together. We're back after these local messages. Down.
Well, yeah, from what I hear, he couldn't get a ticket. They've been, crazy down there, and they've been traveling all over the place trying to get tickets from other towns and trying to do just about everything they can to get a ticket.
Tom Brannon not real happy right now.
Well, right now they're 16% from the floor, and you're asking an awful lot from your defense when your offense can't give you that spark. I give a lot of credit to the Massac County defense, though. They're pushing Marshall out of their offensive flow right now, but still early, and Massac County's got to hope that they continue this progress.
Number 11, Jarrell Johnson, is the story of this tournament as Corte drives and loses it on the way up. And
they're able to get into the teeth of that defense. You're going to see this again. They're able to get into the teeth of the defense, and Corte's been the one who's been doing this most of the game. Corte 4 for 4 from the line as of right now. 3 for 3, excuse me.
He doesn't start, but he doesn't take long to get in the game, averaging 11 points per contest this year for the 32-1 Patriots.
It's hard to see this on TV, but his rotation is just perfect. When the ball comes out of his hand, the ball spins about 2 full revolutions, and that's just about perfect. Look where his hand is, right in the center of the ball.
His rotation is Tiger-esque, I believe, getting back to his golf scholarship. And the biggest lead of the night from Massac County is 15. And right now, Marshall has got to take the lid off that basket.
Obviously, Marshall's never been here all year.
Logan can't do it. The other Logan gets the rebound. Or I should say Logan Idle gets the rebound. And they throw it away. Man. In a hurry is Kester, and he'll just wait. So the Idols remain that way on the scoreboard, and we've got a timeout.
Marshall switched to man-to-man, threw Massac County off a little bit.
Joe Hossman saw it and wanted the timeout right away.
Looking over the stats here, Jim, that were just giving us the whole idea of this law, of this thing here. 75% Massac County, 16% Marshall. You can look at any of those stats you want. That's what it comes down to.
And right now we're looking at the stats in the classroom as those IHSA Caterpillar All-State Academic teams have been announced, and our congratulations to all of those folks. Getting it done on the court, in the classroom, and for their own futures.
And we have one of those guys playing today. Taylor Duncan is number 1 in his class at Marshall High School, so an athlete and a scholar.
And the Marshall Lions mascot showing a lot of life, but the Marshall Lions offense dead in the water right now, trailing by 15. And if they can just get a good final 4 minutes here, Roger, of this first half and kind of feel themselves back into this game, get down to single digits, I think they'd feel pretty good about it, considering.
Yeah, I would think Coach Brandon would be happy to go in single digits, but right now, the way Massac County's playing, you could see that this lead stay here or maybe even get larger. I'm going to expect Marshall to be man-to-man here, Jim.
Between Lucas and Logan Idle, 1 bucket.
Zone. They're still back in their zone. 2-3.
Jarrell Johnson, who knows hard times, folks, will tell you his story. Corte can't get it. Kester over the back, and that's a foul against Massac County.
Nice job of Marshall boxing out there, fundamentally putting a rear into somebody, and good call by our officials. We had a great game officiated, I thought, in the evening session earlier, and it's just, once again, the IHSA does a great job with the officiating. These guys are doing a super job.
And no matter what you say, no matter how many shots you take, after a while, when they're not going in, it becomes a little bit of a mental thing. Duncan forces, he can't get it. With the rebound is Jarrell Johnson. Jarrell Johnson's story is enough to make a guy cry and clap at the same time. Jumper good from the corner, and again, it's James Lang.
Yeah, he's in the scouting report as a shooter. Marshall just lost him both times, so you've got to go out and cover that kid.
17-point lead. Idle with a pass down low. It finally goes down as scoring is Jake Tucker for the Marshall Lions. And of course, speaking of Jakes, Jake Kelly, the starting point guard for the Iowa Hawkeyes, was once a Marshall Lion before transferring out his junior year, going back to Indiana. Jumper, Johnson, short, rebound.
There's a run out.
Idle. And they finally find each other as Logan goes to the glass, and it'll count. Oh, did they need that badly?
Something like that is all you need. Brother to brother on the run out. We're going to get a chance to see this. He let him out there. Did a real good job once again of protecting. A little awkward as he went up for the shot, but the result's all that counts. Corte got his shoulders turned there, and that's what caused the foul.
To borrow some movie parlance, brother, where art thou? Well, he was out there on the wing and finally got it to fall.
The free throw percentage is second best in the tournament, only next to Corte, 86%.
Let's see it.
So let's see if the defense now can pick it up from Marshall. They need to get this Marshall crowd back in the game.
About what I was going to say. Roger took the words right out of my mouth. Let's see if the offense spurs on the defensive intensity. Down by 12, and there you go. Turnover. Marshall coming the other way.
Very important possession, Jim, offensively, because momentum could be swinging back to the Lions side.
Duncan slashing, no. Rebound, no. Tip, no. Oh my goodness. Everybody's diving for the basketball, and it'll go Massac County's way. Good effort there by a lot of folks, including Logan Idle.
You got to love the effort to get down on the floor for loose balls. It's not asking too much of anybody to do that. Right now, Massac County now needs to be a little bit more patient, try to dice up this 2-3 that Marshall's playing. Penetration is how they got it early.
I tell you, Taylor Duncan came within about a centimeter of getting that thing to fall, but no go. Another dangerous pass inside.
They're doing this all with Bailey on the bench too, Jim.
And they turn it over as Kester couldn't handle the original interior pass, and now we're going the other way. Consecutive turnovers on the Patriots.
This is where Marshall should be making hay with Bailey on the bench, but right now, Massac County's got a good blend in there. You got inside strength, you got athletes, you got shooters.
You saw Tom Brandon calling the Yukon offense. I guess that would be one that scores.
Well, they're a dribble drive type of team, kind of like Memphis, and they get a lot of their baskets just like that, getting it into the teeth of the defense.
Logan Idle gets bitten by those teeth, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Once again, putting the ball on the floor. Took it right in between three guys. Not a very good job for Coach Hossman that time defensively. Coach Hossman, one of the best man-to-man coaches in our state. He can't be very happy with that possession by Marshall.
He got hammered on the way up. In there was James Lang. Perfecto from the line.
Watch that arch, too. The higher the arch, the better chance the ball has going in the basket. If there's any young players watching, Logan Idle has a real nice stroke getting the ball up in the air. You can't lose this kid. You can't lose Corte, and they just did.
Oh, boy.
That's inexcusable, really. I mean, that's the kid that's hurting them. And Coach Brandon, with his hands on his hips, as you can see on the monitor, he doesn't understand any better than I do.
Dustin Corte makes it a 13-point lead again. Idle kicks it over.
There's your freshman.
Not there. Tip kept alive for a moment, but Massac County comes out of there with it. In a hurry is Jarrell Johnson.
And a nice play by Johnson to pull it out. He didn't have any numbers.
Now, I talked about Johnson's life, and it's been very, very tough. He had to be taken in by a man who basically had two of his stepbrothers, then his adult in his family succumbed to an illness, and he basically raised his own brothers and worked at the same time as well as playing basketball. So when we have hard times in America, Jarrell Johnson would probably shrug and score.
He's a slasher. He's the glue that holds his team together.
32-17. Talk about a character builder. What's happened to Johnson off the court? Oh, there's a nice move, but Logan lost it on the way out.
They've gotten shots, Jim. We've talked about that 3 or 4 times today. They've gotten shots. They're just not going in. Man-to-man, Marshall was the last possession. Coach Hossman, I'm sure, is going to play for one with only 10 seconds to go. Could be a clear out right here for Johnson.
And that was Lucas on that last shot. Johnson firing wildly. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Can Logan beat the clock? No. He missed the gimme.
Wow.
Logan Idle all the way down, but he was contested. But this first half belonged to Massac County in a big way. 32-17 as the Idle twins couldn't find the hole, and now they find themselves in a huge hole.
Could have been a goaltending call that time when he went in. That ball, that the guys did hit the net in the rim. That was close.
Let's go to Lee Hall and see how the winning coach at the break feels.
All right, we're with Joe Hossman. I know coaches can find things wrong where other people can, but that was a pretty well played first half for your team.
Played really well defensively, and we got some of our transition buckets. And without having our best player on the floor for 2.5 quarters, for a quarter and a half, I thought the kids did a great job.
What's going on with him?
He has 2 fouls. I'm not going to leave him out there with 2 fouls. You know better than that. But he'll get back in here, start third, and hopefully we can keep the same pace up.
All right, good luck to you second half, Coach. All right. And that's the story over here, guys.
This IHSA telecast is brought to you by Country Financial. For a no-obligation insurance and financial review, call the Country Financial representative near you. At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
And welcome to our National Association Realtors Halftime Show. The NAR wants you to know that home ownership is an investment in your future. When ready to buy or sell a home, contact a realtor, a member of the NAR. Massac County, the 32-17 lead here over undefeated Marshall here at halftime. I'm Lee Hall, along with Cliff Cameron, head coach at Pleasant Plains. You won a state championship on this floor in 2000, 2002, and Massac County trying to join you with the championship trophy. They look awfully good here in the first half.
They got off to a very good first half. They got a lot of transition baskets. I know Brian Bailey and Jarrell Johnson did a good job of getting to the hole, penetrating, and they did a good job executing against their zone, against Marshall's zone. Marshall was in a 2-3 zone early, went to a 1-3-1 for a while, and I thought Massac County did a very good job getting open looks. It seemed to be a very balanced team, and so they did a good job, so they're off to a good start this first half of this semifinal game.
All right, I'm going to have to stop here. Hey, quit fighting. You kids go back to your room. All right. The line is, I'm used to that. I'm a father, all right? I don't have 9 kids like Hossman, but, you know.
Right.
Tell me about Marshall. How much of it is Massac's defense, which is awesome? How much of it is just the shots not going in?
Well, I think Massac County's man-to-man defense is very good. Marshall is an all-guard lineup. I've noticed that in the roster. They have all guards. They're in a 5-out motion. They're getting some open looks, but they're just not dropping. The second half, they're going to have to start making some outside shots. And also, I think the twins, the Idle twins, as far as we know that the Idle twins, as far as Logan, number 10, Lucas Idle, they're both headed to Indiana State. And I know they're the leaders on the team. They're going to have to start making some baskets for get back in this ball game.
So they'd like to see some American Idol with the Alliance here coming up in the second half. Right now it's Massac County, the lead, 32-17, back after this local timeout. Back at Carver Arena in downtown Peoria, America's original March Madness. Tipping off this weekend. 32-17 the score. Massac County leading here over Marshall at the half. Lee Hall, Cliff Cameron. Let's talk adjustments, and I guess mostly for Marshall. What are you going to see in the second half from the Lions?
Well, they tried a little full court pressure, and I thought Massac County did a good job just cutting through it and getting easy baskets. So I think their best bet was to stay back in their 2-3 or their 1-3-1 defense and try to do a better job of containing them and make them earn their shots a little bit better. And also, they're going to have to start hitting some shots from the outside. We see right here where Marshall was only 5 of 27. And the two twins, they only have 2 and 4 points respectively, so they're going to have to start doing some scoring for them. So I'd say I think their looks are getting good. They're just going to have some better luck putting the ball in the hole.
14-6 the points in the paint by Massac County. That's the key. That means they're getting good shots too.
Yes.
Duncan with 6 to lead the way for Marshall. For Massac County, it's Cordy with 9, Lang and Bailey with 6 each. Our Menards halftime stats say big money at Menards. So a very formidable first half for Massac County. Marshall tries to answer in the second half, and we will have that for you after this local timeout.
Is that it?
Just like our first semifinal game of the night, a 15-point lead at the break, and Massac County and their fans having a pretty good time, as you just saw. I'm Jim Albrecht along with Roger Lowe, and of course the Idol twins are 2 of 15 in the first half, which has really set the tone for Marshall to have a comeback in the second half. Let's take a look at those highlights, Roger.
Well, we'll take a look first of all at Jarrell Johnson behind the arc, set his feet, great shot there, and with Bailey getting the ball here, only playing 7 minutes, this is the thing that amazes me. You're up 15 points and Bailey only plays 7 minutes. Nice pass back to him for one of his few baskets. Ayala, again, a slasher, is going to be coming out, number 10 for Massac County. Outstanding sophomore. He's going to be a great player before his time is done here. Jacob Duncan, the freshman, we said that the kid is not afraid to shoot it. Great arch there, falls right through. Marshall's highlights again, very few offensively, but a great pass down to Jake Tucker. Finishes it off, and finally Jarrell Johnson's been a thorn in the side to this Marshall team. Once again on penetration, they just can't stop him. It's nice through 3 line defenders for the layup.
Let's see if the coach has talked his team into a comeback. Lee?
All right, we're with Tom Brandon talking here, Coach. You're getting some good looks. Boy, they're just not falling, 17%. That's got to get the lid off of there.
Yeah, that's not us. We're a pretty good shooting team, and we just got to keep doing what we're doing. They're going to fall. You have to have faith. Shooters got to have confidence, and so we've got to keep believing.
All right, Coach, good luck to you second half here. All right, back over to you.
We'll see if the Idols get untracked. Right now, Massac County by 15. We're taking a network timeout. Right now, it looks like Seton County and Massac County, or I should say Seton Academy, but we've still got a lot of basketball left to play. What jumps out at you, Roger Lowe?
Well, one thing that I want to say as far as Marshall's concerned is they've only turned it over 4 times, so they're getting shots at the basket, and I appreciate what Coach Brandon said. This game is played in 2 halves.
Yep.
And the first half did not go Marshall's way. The thing that has to scare you a little bit, though, if you're a Lions fan, is Bailey played only 7 minutes, and they have a 15-point lead. We're going to see what kind of defense Marshall chooses to come out in the second half. I'm going to be real surprised if it's not man-to-man. We'll see, though. And it is straight man.
Massac County will kick it off. Johnson kicks it across the lane. Jumper is going to be short from that side as Ayala opens up with a misfire, and Marshall has a chance to start cutting into things. Idle hung up in the air, gets it on out to Duncan. That is not there. Rebound comes down to Massac County. Bailey trying to outrun the crowd.
Great job. Great job defensively.
That's Lucas Idle with the steal. He's not going to slow. He's going to get it down low to Duncan. He can't fire. Duncan on the other side. It's good. That was Morey originally touching the ball, but Duncan finished, and now we got a foul on the block before the shot.
They're just not getting down the floor. Massac County's getting the ball down there before Marshall can set their defense, and that's usually a problem when that happens. Athletic-wise, Massac County is just dominant right now over the Marshall Lions.
Long jumper, too much iron, but Bailey there to hang and not hit as he'll go to the free throw line.
One of his first highlights of the day. He does have 6 points, and you're going to see a great job by a great athlete just going in, using his skills to go right over the top here. Marshall's got to find him. They got to find a body and put it on him, because if not, he's going to get in there and get his just dues.
Bailey is money from the line.
All-state football player, all-state basketball player. This Massac County defense has been smothering, but Marshall's been getting good looks.
Too much on that one as Logan Idle hurries. He's met by 3 defenders. He'll shovel it off to Taylor Duncan, who finds barely enough rim to get a ricochet.
One thing you can see there is that Marshall got the ball up the floor in a lot more of a hurry, maybe trying to get into the offensive flow before Massac can set up.
High post, low post. Bailey gets it blocked inside by Duncan.
3 on 2, they got numbers.
And we got a technical foul on Joe Hossman for Massac County. He wanted a foul on that. And instead, he's going to give some free throws to the opposition.
And the thing about it now is Coach Hossman has lost his ability to stand. No one on that bench now can stand. Coach Hossman's going to have to be seated for the rest of this game, which could make a big difference. The team is going to feed off your head coach. Coach Hossman's trying to get an explanation of it. He was out of the box. He was arguing with the officials. And going to the line now is the second best free throw shooter in the tournament, Logan Idle. But again, could be a major point. Coach Hossman's going to be seated on the bench for the rest of the game.
Well, Tom Brandon there in the red you saw seconds ago, he's happy about it. 3 points? Yeah, we'll take 3 points.
Well, let's see if this is a big difference here. 33-19 when Coach Hossman got the technical foul.
And of course, Coach Hossman, 23 years at the school, said maybe I should have gotten some teams down here before, but I appreciate the community sticking behind me. So on his first trip down to state, he gets his first state tee.
Could be a 5-point play now also. So this is a huge possession now for Marshall. Equally as important for Massac County defensively, Jim.
You got to get it down to single digits before you start thinking about a comeback. High-low and a good defensive play by Ayala. Boy, the Idols had that one down, but Ayala got a hand in there.
And this great Marshall crowd is finally getting back into it. They've been an unbelievable crowd, unbelievable following all year long, and they're finally getting back into it. The team could feed off this crowd. Great
Lucas
pass.
Inbounds, and he's got a man, and that man is Morey, or was it Duncan inside? Hard to tell from my vantage point. 32 or 34. Nice dish inside. Kester has it blocked by Idle. And a jump ball.
On the made basket, they go zone. On missed baskets, they go man. So that's a thing that Massac County's got to be able to read and understand.
That was Duncan on the bucket, number 32, just to square things away. A 10-point game. Hasn't been that for a while.
What a great matchup. Idle and Bailey. You see him in the corner right there. That's Lucas Idle.
Duncan's tough. He hangs. No. Rebound comes down to Massac County in the form of Kester. They move it in a hurry. And just a correction on a pronunciation, it's Justin Cordy. Dustin Cordy, not Corday. We were told Corday early on, but either way, number 22 for Massac County had a big first half.
Now, I don't understand this. Coach Hossman is off the bench. I think you lose bench privileges with a technical foul. At least I'm under that knowledge.
Well, he stood up quickly and sat down quickly. There you see a good shot of him, grabbing a seat. Bailey will direct traffic. He's looking for Kester, high post. Kester's got one-on-one and a block. They're going to call a block on Dustin Morey.
Close play. We're going to get a good look at it. The official had a better angle, obviously, than I did, and obviously right, because he was moving his feet there. Marshall right now, I think, playing a little bit better in their man than they had zone, so let's see if they see a little bit more of that. They are man out of bounds here.
Jumper along the baseline doesn't come anywhere close for Kester, and now the lead can be trimmed again. Lucas Idle. Brashear in the ball game, number 22, playing catch out front. As Lucas Idle goes one-on-one, spins, no. Tries to get his own rebound. It's garnered underneath by Morey, and it's back up and in. Dustin Morey with a big offensive rebound. 8-point game. It was 15 at the break as Massac County tries to retain what they took into the locker room. The winner plays Seton Academy.
And here's your zone defense now on the made basket. It's throwing off Massac County's continuity a little bit offensively.
Ayala. They try to penetrate that zone. Somebody's going to have to go over the top, loosen it up. Cordy usually does that. Bailey drives baseline, blocked out of bounds. It'll still belong to Massac County. We'll be back. Don't go away. It's heating up in March after these local messages.
What do you know about Marshall?
Well, we know they have two twins that are very good basketball players that can really score the ball. Number 32 is an outstanding athlete, about 6'3". So they've got three very good scorers and kids that can come in and play their roles. And then they have a number 13 that comes off the bench that really shoots the ball well if he's open.
Well, since Hossman got teed up, it's Marshall on a 6-0 run.
Yeah, we wrote that down, 33-19. But one of the things Marshall's done is gotten the ball into their offensive sets a lot earlier. They're getting the ball down, trying to get into the set before Massac County can set their defense. And look at this, the best defensive player in the state, according to Coach Brandon, covering the All-Stater, Byron Bailey.
That would be number 32, Taylor Duncan, on number 5, Bailey. As they work the weave, Johnson almost got free. Cordy, baseline. Nothing there.
Straight man again.
Johnson hangs from 11. No.
Boy, it hadn't been 6 points in a long time, Jim. Could be on this possession.
The Lions are roaring if this one goes. It's blocked out front by Bailey. What a play. Here comes Ayala, and he's followed from behind.
That was a frustration foul there. He took his offensive problem defensively.
If this shot gets launched and goes down, the Lions would roar. Instead, Bailey goes, no.
He carried it from the offensive end to the defensive end, and a senior probably shouldn't do that. He was upset with the shot, as you said, and then fouled coming down the other end.
So Massac County dodges a bit of a bullet there, leading by 8. as we're halfway through the third quarter.
This matchup is fun for me to watch. Great defensive player, great offensive player.
And he dishes over to Kester while everybody's looking at number 5.
Yep. Duncan had held Leonard and Fromm to single digits, but again, a good penetration move.
Idle kicks out to his brother. Logan inside will go to the line. And again, Logan's playing with that jam left hand in the super sectional. He jammed it. And don't forget, coverage of the IHSA basketball tournament is sponsored by Walgreens and Zero Cal Water. Zero Cal Water is exclusively available at Walgreens and, of course, is a proud sponsor of this IHSA network broadcast.
Marshall is 31-0 in large part to what you just saw there. Getting the ball into the defense, kind of the dribble drive type offense is so popular today with the three-point shot, and something you don't see very often right there is a miss by Logan.
And Bailey's dish ended a 3-minute drought for Massac County. I'm thinking it's going to be a 9-point game here now. And that's what Logan. Idle does. Uh-oh, somebody's open down here. Johnson lost it off his ankle.
Nice play.
I should say his knee. I think he kicked it off his knee.
Good play by Brashear. He came up and saw that, and so once again, Marshall has a chance to whittle away just a little bit more.
Joe Hossman. His team led by 15 about 5 minutes ago. Idle to Idle as we go back and forth. Lucas baseline, kicks it out. Wide open, not there. Dustin Morey had the wide open 3, but it wouldn't fall.
These are the kind of shots they've been getting. But right now, only shooting 22%. We talked about this earlier. Any coach who's ever coached the game or played the game understands that you just are asking too much from your defense when your offense can't give you any offense. 8 for 37 right now.
Wow. Yet they trail only by 9.
Back in the zone again, the 2-3 zone.
Going up top from the corner.
Cordy. He's been a man's man today, hasn't he? That's his 12th.
Dustin Cordy, who averages 11, has busted that. Oh, nice drive, but not finishing is Lucas Idle. And in the backcourt, somehow Bailey comes away with it, and he has numbers. Cordy again? No. But look who's got the rebound. Massac County just relentless around the glass right now, leading by a dozen.
Good matchup here again. Once again, I want the fans to watch this. Bailey and Taylor Duncan right now at the elbow, but Bailey's forcing him in the post.
And Duncan makes the steal on the inbound, or I should say the inlet pass, and finishes at the other end.
Great athlete, took it all the way.
Whoa, a long baseball pass right down to Bailey, and we've got an intentional foul.
Yeah. We're going to have to see this on replay again, but it was called quickly by the official.
What a pass at the other end. You talk about, well, you talked about Bailey's football prowess as a wide receiver. He was on the end of a TD pass that time, and it got broken up a little too rudely, according to the officials, so that's intentional.
Coach Brand is shaking his head down there. He disagrees with it, where and Bailey up there at the line, again, 65% free throw shooter. They're going to get the ball out. That's a big play right there.
It depends whether he bodied him into the first row there, or whether he just got tangled up top with his hands, and I'm talking about the defender. Morey comes out. Checking back in is Jacob Duncan. Well, Massac County has weathered the run, and now they're back on offense. Again, up by double digits.
Straight man again by the Marshall Lions. So again, you got to watch out for penetration. Massac County getting it in on the dribble drive.
Bailey so smooth. Tried to penetrate, but
these are two Bulldogs going against each other here, Jim.
Well, Duncan, he can read. Oh, and that time he got up too close and pushed it.
Only his second foul, though. He can still play with a lot of aggressiveness. But they're shooting the bonus now. They were in even the last foul. Massac County only with 2 fouls and Marshall with 8. So free throws could play a huge role down the stretch, like they usually do.
Well, Taylor Duncan's defense, obviously an attribute of having a father who's a drill instructor in the Army. You will get it done.
Once again, I'm really impressed with Marshall's ability to take care of the basketball against a heck of a defense in Massac County with only 4 turnovers, but just can't get anything to drop.
They almost have their halftime Bulls right back, up by 15 at the break. Now it's back to 13 with 1:30 remaining here in the third quarter. The Idols really haven't gotten on track. This kid has. Taylor Duncan.
If you didn't know, you would think Duncan's the best player on the team today. He's played the best game of the 3. The Idols have got him here. They're the ones that carried him, but Duncan has played a great game for him.
And of course, if you talk to Olympia, they have high, well, I guess praise if you're being a good sportsman for Duncan, because his 3 sent it to overtime and eventually sent Olympia packing instead of down here to state.
Coach Thornton, one of the best coaches in our state from Stanford Olympia, and he sung his praises and said just what I said, that this kid might be one of the best players on the ball club. It looks like they're going to play for 1, Jim. They're not in any hurry. 11-point lead with 30 seconds.
The luxury of the cushion.
Look at
up by 11, and you can take your time.
Look at the spread, too. They're about 15 feet apart. Hard to double team.
And they got Bailey loose and contact underneath.
No doubt, it's a block.
And it's on Duncan, but it's not on Taylor. It's on his freshman brother, Jacob.
You like the idea that the freshman stuck his neck in there and tried to take the charge, but as you can see, he was not there. That's the 9th foul for Marshall. So, Jim, the next foul that Marshall commits, Massac County won't have to make the bonus anymore. It'll all be 2 shots.
Wow, that's a luxury in the fourth quarter. The entire fourth quarter to play with that, maybe.
It'd be interesting to see what Marshall tries to do here. I don't think they're going to play for 1. I think they're going to try to get a basket and then try to get another possession on a steal.
The Idols fight for the rebound and almost lost it. Logan all the way down. I think they are going to play for 1 now. They couldn't get anything on the original drive, so they're going to wait. Lucas feeds it down low. Whoa. Duncan might have had that block, but there might have been a little tap on the hand. Let's check it out.
The best post defender that Massac County has, in my opinion, is Kester. He just got caught a step late there. Going to the line now for 2 shots. Once again, Taylor Duncan. Duncan with 14 points on the ball game, 4 for 4 from the line.
Trying to get it to a 10-point game and then hoping Massac County doesn't score with 5 seconds left.
You look at this kid's body, you know, he's a football quarterback, big, strong body, but has a real nice touch around the basket and a good free throw shooter, 77% from the line. That's a man at the line, and he's just a junior.
And it's a 10-point game. Now they've got a D up. Bailey gets it out quickly to Johnson, who lets it fly, and that's nowhere close, and that's the way the third quarter comes to a close. They close the gap by 5, but trail by 10. They, of course, being Marshall, Massac County up on top as Marshall trying to do it behind Mr. Duncan. Back after these network. Here's those Menards stats through 3 quarters. Save big money at Menards, and that shooting is still haunting Marshall.
The second line, you know, we've beaten this horse to death right now, but that's the whole story right there. And like we said, Marshall's getting some good looks at the basket. They're just not dropping for him.
Let's go to Lee Hall. Lee.
Jim in the Massac County huddle there with Joe Hossman. He says, play hard, play smart. We're going to look for some backdoor cuts here. And also no second shots, and just, you know, play smart basketball right here with this big lead, guys.
A near steal. How they didn't get it, I won't know, but somehow they come up with it.
Marshall's in a 1-3-1 this time, Jim. Another defense. It's the 4th different look I've seen, 1-3-1.
And it takes a little while to adjust. Kester gets it over to Cordy.
Well, he's been the difference. That's his 15th point.
But it was the ability of Kester to spot him all the way on the other side.
Oh, this is a good team, and they, by the word team, just everybody playing for each other and getting the ball inside. No egos, kind of like Seton Academy.
Jarrell Johnson knocked that ball out of bounds, and right now time's a-wasting for Marshall as they trail by 13.
I've been in that guy's shoes, not at this high a level, obviously, but there's not many buttons he can push right now. Coach Brandon's done an unbelievable job
Oh, when you miss that one, you know it might not be your night. Logan Idle right at the lip of the rim, and it comes up short.
And back in man-to-man for Marshall. This is where Massac County can break you down.
With the backdoor play to Ayala, in and out. Back up, in.
Well, you know, you play defense and you make them miss, but you don't rebound it. You're asking for trouble when things like that happen.
Duncan can't get it. Two shots in close, won't fall.
I'm just going to say Marshall needs to get back because Massac County is ready to put the final nails in the coffin if they don't.
Well, they got to back up to their original halftime lead of 15. And right now, if you're Seton Academy and Coach Stevenson, you're game planning Massac County, but there's still time if things change, but they have to do so in a hurry. And that's what Massac County won't be in a hurry.
Remember,
Logan Idle against Bailey. Got it.
Remember now, every foul that Marshall commits from this point on, Massac County does not have to make that front end. It's going to be 2 shots.
Jarrell Jackson got a little out of control up top, and that caused the turnover in the 2 by Idle.
Overplaying the passing lanes is Marshall, especially on the wings, as you can see.
Before that bucket, the Idols were 2 of 19 collectively. You almost feel bad because you know what great competitors they are. Cordy finds a wide open Johnson. No. But back up and in is Kester.
What a great job by Massac County. Massac County plays like their coach. Their coach is a tough guy, hard worker. They just go to the board so hard.
They don't have great size, Roger, but they take advantage of their aggressiveness. This young man, 6'4", gets the 3-point play and a 16-point lead. Logan, nope.
They just have not been able to get any rhythm right now, Jim. The Marshall offense really out of sync.
And Bailey says, I could force it, but why? Johnson says, I'll take it home.
Well, we're going to see a guy just take the ball to the hole. Jarrell Johnson, just a little crossover dribble. Not a good job by the Marshall defense away from the ball. They didn't see it coming. And if we weren't going to be getting an immediate timeout in 4 seconds, I would think Coach Brandon would be using one because you've only got 5 minutes left. You got to get the wagon circled here and see what you can get stopped.
Jarrell Johnson, we told you his story. No dad around, his mom leaves. Somebody takes him in. That gentleman passes on. He ends up taking care of his younger brothers. That right there is hard work for a young man.
Marshall with 2 freshmen in the lineup right now.
Duncan, yep. Where would they be without Taylor Duncan?
He's been the best player on the floor for Marshall tonight. There's no question about it. Marshall back in their man again.
Well, Joe Hossman, we'll have to talk to him after the game about that tee because that's pretty much the only mistake Massac County has made. He wanted a foul called. There you see him. He's living this one large. It's been a long time for Joe Hossman to get down here, and he's here, and he's pretty close to a state championship encounter. We're back after these local messages. Oh, the Lion will sleep tonight because Marshall Doesn't look like they'll be playing for a state championship. Massac County is taking care of that. That's our Walgreens picture-perfect moment. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right, Good Sportsmanship campaign. Of course, Massac County won a super sectional in 2004 versus Pinckneyville, but they lost in the quarterfinals, so they've never advanced this far, and now they want that final step, and of course they'll have to take on a pretty darn good Seton Academy team.
Well,
for sure.
This is the final push now for Marshall. They've got to make some hay in these next couple minutes.
Gotta have it.
Good start. It's a good start if you're a Marshall fan.
Lucas Idle.
1 for 7 now from 3. And you can see the pressure now, extended full court.
And really at this point of the game, any coach, anywhere will tell you, make your free throws.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do now, Jim.
We'll start game planning for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what they have to do now. Everything's a 2-shot foul, but I don't have a problem with that. They're stopping the clock, and they're making them make them from the line. Johnson, just a very average free throw shooter, only 57%. I'll trade 1 for 3 any day if I'm Marshall. That's the only way they're going to get back in it. And there you see my boy, Kobe. I had a great conversation with him yesterday. Just a joy to be around.
If you missed our interview with his mom, of course had open heart surgery shortly after he was born, but he's bouncing back, and so are we after this network sponsor break. Jim Albrecht and Roger Lowe, I want to thank you all for joining us here this evening for the 2A semifinals. Of course, we'll crown a 1A champion and a 2A champion tomorrow on the IHSA television network. It all starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. Kurt Pegler and Cal Hubbard will bring you all the play-by-play. And right now, it's trade-off time, right, Roger?
Sure is. And right now, Massac County, a little bit of a zone, 1-2-2. Bailey on the point, which might make it a little easier for a three-point shot if you can just spot your shooter.
Logan Idle, nope. Rebound, Johnson, and I mean emphatically.
Marshall coming after him, full court pressure, straight up man though. No trapping, no running and jumping on this.
Bailey all the way, and we'll have a foul. And he'll go to the free throw line for 2. Boy, you talk about pressing the issue.
Just got his head and shoulders above him. We've seen an awful lot of that today with Johnson, Ayala, and Bailey. Just probably 3 better perimeter players than Marshall has as far as quickness and taking the ball to the hole.
Both the Idols were there trying to stop him.
That first step of theirs too, Jim, if you've seen it all day long too, just so quick and always under control. When they cross over, they're always moving right towards the basket, not crosswise.
And one good piece of news for the Idols, even though they have shot a collective 4 of 23, is at least they'll get to play for a third-place game tomorrow and show Peoria what they're really made of, because they just had one of those off nights. This guy did not, although he's off this time. Taylor Duncan couldn't get it to fall. And Bailey says, I'll just whip a pass on down here to Ayala. I'll get it on over, and it'll be blocked. Whoa.
Nice
James
job.
Lang had his shot rejected.
Great job.
Whoa, that jumper was way on the other side.
That's a shot that sent him into the overtime of the super section, though. Penetration, though, by Idle, hitting out to Duncan. This is going to be the first loss for Marshall's program of all 3 levels. They had won 59 straight games at all 3 levels. They'll fall to 59-1 today. The only team I've ever remembered doing that, Jim, was back in 1979, the legendary Bob Basarge at Lockport Central. 79-0 in 1979.
Well, you had 2 undefeated teams coming in here tonight in Class 2A, and they're both, it looks like, going to leave with their first loss of the season. Marshall will taste defeat for the first time in this season, and that's what Winnebago did earlier.
You better believe it. Now, you don't want to get too far ahead, but it's going to be an interesting matchup tomorrow, I think, with Seton Academy and Massac County, because you kind of got a little mirror image of each other, but the only thing is Seton is a little bit deeper than Massac. Massac is 6, maybe 7 deep. Seton Academy can go 9 or 10.
20 points and not a whole lot of time. Again, Duncan comes up shy inside. Cordy had that one taken away. Good hustle, but Bailey ever on the spot.
I would think Coach Hossman would be wanting to get his starters out pretty soon. This game's no longer in doubt.
Hello.
I'm Zach Kester, and I got 2.
You want to try to keep those legs fresh for tomorrow night. I know these are still high school kids, but they played a long season, and you don't want to get an injury right now when you're up 22.
Good point. Jumper not going to be there, and Taylor Duncan gave it everything he had tonight.
This kid with the ball has been a huge difference for him, Jim Cordy. He's given a great spark off the bench.
He had a big first half, a big 3 not that long ago to stem the tide on a Marshall run.
I don't know.
Block from behind and going to the line, Ayala.
I don't know if Coach Hossman is waiting for Coach Brandon to throw the white flag in or not, but somebody needs to sub here. Let's get some other players in the ball game. And here comes Marshall. Coach Brandon is throwing in the white towel, and Coach Hossman's going to follow suit. So I'll let you get all these players in here. They deserve to get their names mentioned. Some of these Massac County kids are wanting to go on the floor without checking in, and that's a young man there, a team, Marshall, that has nothing to be ashamed about. A great run and a victorious Massac County team.
And Massac County having a good time as the subs come in for the lads from Metropolis. 14, Zach Henry. 21, Calvin Morse. 24 is Archie Maxey. 40 is Tyler Sommer. And 50 is Adam McManus. We'll give you those Marshall subs when they get the ball.
And you like to see the coaches do this. Get these kids in who've played so hard, practiced so hard all year long. Give them some time on statewide TV.
Sommer lost the handle. Ethan Delt picked it up. 21 is Jordan Grooms. 33 is Dalton Sanders. 40 is Joey Francis. And 44 is Tyler Bishop. Those are the new 5 in for Coach Tom Brannon. And things getting a little sloppy here with 1:30 remaining. Well, Marshall came in averaging 74 points a game. They're sitting at 38, and that's a combination of things. Defense and just open shots that won't go down.
If you can remember, my second key was D is the key, because Massac County plays great man, and it was the key tonight.
Jumper out front by Francis won't fall. Delp had a look. He couldn't get it to fall. And now we got another substitution coming in for Marshall. That'd be Quincy Glass, number 33.
I am very impressed, though, with Marshall's ability to take care of the basketball against a tremendous man-to-man defense. Only 4 turnovers.
Make that, that was Dalton Sanders, number 33 for Marshall. Long jumper wing, not going to be there for Archie Maxey.
So we got to turn around tomorrow. That's what you got to tell your kids if you're Coach Brandon. We got a chance to go out with a victory, and that's going to be an interesting matchup. Winnebago against Marshall, as you said. Both teams came in undefeated. You don't want to go home with 2 losses in 2 days, so that's going to be a motivator by itself.
Well, as I said earlier on, there were only 14 undefeated championship teams in either class since 1950, and 2 of them tonight tried to go that way, as hitting the long jumper for Marshall was Austin Wetnight. And Austin gets that feel.
Have his name in the scores book for the rest of his career, rest of Illinois high school career.
Archie Maxey out front. Now he'll pull up and won't get it to fall. Nice rebound underneath. That won't fall. Struggling underneath there mightily, but not getting anything for his effort was Tyler Sommer. Other end, good. Whoa, we got bodies down, be careful. Was that Dalton Sanders or was it Jordan Grooms? I think it was Grooms, number 21. That's the way this baby's coming to an end. 60-43, Massac County will take on Seton Academy tomorrow night, approximately 8:15 here on the IHSA Television Network. The winner will call themselves 2A state champions. Tom Brannon exchanging handshakes with Joe Hossman and all the players doing likewise. Lee Hall will have our victorious coach, Joe Hossman, in a minute. Before he gets to that, want to thank Wingate by Wyndham, the fine hotel here in the Peoria area, part of the Peterson Hotels chain. Go to petersonhotels.com and stay in one of their fine hotels in the same area by the Great Mall Shops at Grand Prairie. Well, We saw identical things happen tonight, Coach, and you never want to have a bad first quarter, but the two teams who had bad first quarters ended up on the short end here tonight.
They sure did, and defense was the key for Massac County, as it has been all year long.
Lee Hall's got our victorious coach.
All right, guys, thanks a lot, Joe Hossman. They made a run there at you at the third quarter. You guys stood tall.
Yes, they've done that all year long where a team would make a run at us and our kids end up making plays. They get some stops defensively and we get some runouts. And I just think we played very well tonight and beat an excellent basketball team and a great program.
Started 30 years ago for you in El Dorado. You'll play for a state championship tomorrow. What does that mean for you?
Well, I'll have to, I'll try not to tear up, but it means a lot for my kids.
That's all right. That's all right. You're entitled. Congratulations. Good luck to you tomorrow night. All right, Dustin Cordy made 11 threes in the three-point shootout. You came up one short, but you gave a huge lift to this team, 15 points off the bench. You're our Country Financial Player of the Game. Tell me about what it takes to come off the bench and contribute for this team.
It's just patience and perseverance. I mean, I think I do better coming off the bench just because you don't have that pressure starting out. And I don't know, it's awesome.
Tell me about that run they made on you in the third quarter and things kind of, you try not to play any different, but it's tough when a team's making a run at you. What was key for you guys to hold on tonight, did you think?
Coach told us at halftime, he said they're going to make a run. They only shot 18% from the field in the first half. So we just had to come out and take it and trade some baskets until they wore down.
All right, Dustin Cordy, our Country Financial Player of the Game. Play for a state championship tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. And we will have more from Carver Arena after this local timeout.
The tickets to our punch for the 2A state championship, and of course it'll be Massac County against Seton Academy. Right now we want to take you to the numbers, and the numbers were not kind to Marshall, but they certainly were to Massac County. Brought to you, of course, by Menards. Save big money at Menards, and the Idols never got untracked.
No, they didn't, and I'm going to skip down to the fifth line there. Massac County did a great job, especially going to their offensive boards and getting second attempts, and you can see the last line, too, the penetration that Massac County had against the Marshall defense, able to kick out for some pretty easy shots. So obviously the best team won. And you look at that guy off the bench, Cordy, just did a great job. Bailey only playing 3 quarters, 13 points. But not the game that Marshall wanted to play when they came down here, but they played a better team. And that's the thing. Both teams that won today were the better team on the floor.
And let's take a look at how it went down here at the Carver Arena, starting early.
Well, again, a nice shot there by Taylor Duncan. He was the bright spot for this ball club today. But once again, penetration. You see Jarrell Johnson taking it to the hole. That's a recurring theme for this Massac County team. Able to get their head and shoulders past the defense, and the results usually a pretty good layup.
Yeah, Jarrell Johnson and his teammates will get some rest and come back tomorrow night. Of course, we kick it off all tomorrow, starting with Class A at 11. Anawan and Lewiston will play the consolation game. Then, of course, Macon Meridian and Woodlawn will go for the first title of the day. It is Title Saturday here on the IHSA Network, so the consolation game in the evening, Marshall and Winnebago, and then, of course, a dandy, I think, with Seton Academy and Massac County. We'll see how that one boils down. So that'll do it for our IHSA television crew, for all the guys in the truck, the camera guys, and all you at home. Thank you so much. For Lee Hall and, of course, for Roger Lowe, I'm Jim Albrecht. Have a great night. Let's keep the madness rolling. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 right here on the IHSA Television Network.